Let's test, test, test. Looks like the mic is hot and coming through. Still like a few more minutes though. You know, I'm saying test, test, test. I should probably figure out how to test with SwiftData at some point. I was gonna find the clap eventually. I also thought I had the horn there, but apparently I do not. Oh, it's here. Oh no. Hello, hello, hello. What is up, y'all? How's it going? Michaela, you need to set up your Rodecaster for streaming again, but that also means cleaning your desk. That is an issue. That is why mine is on a arm for now. While I still have it. Is it this one? Is it gonna work? Ah, there we go. Oh, why? Why is it doing this? Oh, is it doing desk mode? That's not what I want. There we go. That's why mine is currently on an arm right now, because then I can avoid having like it on my desk because there is no place for it to be on my desk. So an arm, like a monitor arm with like it's on a laptop shelf. So like, I can actually just swap it out and put my laptop there if I wanted to. Like, best decision for the Rodecaster. Now it is really far away from me. So like I don't use the buttons anymore. So like, it's not the best, but I'm also looking to sell it. So if anyone wants a Rodecaster and that lives in the States, hit me up on the Discord and we can chat about selling it because I don't want it. Yeah, thanks, Manu. I appreciate it. It's Oh, I was muted. Haha. Thanks, Manu. I appreciate it. Still not completely happy with it. I don't know. Desk setups, they're great. For always changing things up. But yeah. But yeah, it's a decent like little setup here. I'm looking for, I really want another monitor. I want one of those LG dual ups. And I want to get rid of the Rodecaster, like I just said, and I think that'll keep me happy for a while. So we'll see how it goes. You're lit in the webcam. You almost look like you're in a virtual background. Ooh, nice. I kind of like that look sometimes. I'm not completely like, yeah, my lighting's not 100% correct right now. From I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the lighting also. Like I really want to do I really want to switch to whatever light is back here to over here. And that way the softer light is more on the front right now because it's not like this light right here is like somewhat coming from, I don't know, it's weird. Lighting's weird, right? Lightings are hard. Hey, Compile, what's up? How's it going? It's good over here. Just chatting before we get into some SwiftData stuff. More screens are usually good, but for work, I have a MacBook Air. And so that only supports one external monitor, basically. And right now I have an ultra wide, so it works fine. But yeah, for work, I can't put in more than I can't use more than 2 monitors anyway. So it's like one monitor would just be dead most of the time during work. I don't know. It's the constant life of that. Exhausted and chilling and hanging out with us. Nice. Well, welcome in. Hopefully it's not too hot where you are, where anyone is really. Because it's quite the toasty toast here. As I drink hot water. Ew. Yeah, no thank you. Dallas traffic is something else. I absolutely despise, not despise Dallas traffic, but like, there is better. Like, I feel like Austin is a little bit more drivable than Dallas, to be honest. Like, I go up to Dallas at least like once a year, it seems like, for reasons. Once or twice. But yeah. I actually need to get up there before September, I think. Is it September? Taylor Swift Arlington Museum. Hey, Dobby, stop. Thank you. Let's see. When does this go towards? Till. At least in Arlington, Dallas, all the same area, right? All right, yeah. So before the end of September, I gotta get up there just to go check out the exhibit. It's on my like to-do list this summer. I just gotta figure out when, basically, when we can get up there. But yeah, it'd be fun. I think it's all the it's like a costume tour. Costumes are all there, I think. Probably if I stopped scrolling it would tell me, but yeah. You're buying lunch. All right. I'll let you know. I'll figure that out when, and we'll hit you up. I think you might have to fight some other people also that live in Dallas though. It is a time. It would be a great time. You are not wrong. And Mono, if you lived in here, you could also join. But alas. AMA members get a free admission, including the Eras tour. I've never been to this museum of art, though. But yeah. Taylor can come if she wants. She'll probably be busy, unfortunately, with all her touring stuff going on. Yeah. I wish... Oh, do you know how cool that would be? I would probably not know what to do. And that's a decent... only a little bit of a commute. Taylor Swift watches you stream, you hear? Oh, jelly. Gotta hop into your chats more often then. What are you gonna do today? Besides, like, look at the Arlington, like, museum stuff. We're going to be working on that app I was doing, like, a couple weeks ago called My Day. It uses SwiftData, aka CoreData, in the background to be able to store, like, routines, basically. Oh, I should have opened this up. Mock-ups. We were going through this mock-up to get everything in, get this, like, form going, stuff like that. I remember last time I was streaming, I was like, hey, why are previews not working? Like, what's the dealio? I realized the issue with previews is that the preview itself, the preview macro now, no, they're not though. Like SwiftData and CoreData, they're not different. It's like the Scooby-Doo meme, you know, where you like lift it up and it's like, yeah, it's CoreData at the end of the day. That's basically what SwiftData is. At least that's what it made it sound like. Also because the stores are interchangeable, you could actually like probably be fine. Like it is the same. It's ultimately CoreData at the end of the day with some Swift like niceties added in on top of it. Like it's a wrapper around CoreData at the end of the day. That's what the macros are for. Yeah, exactly. SwiftData just sits on CoreData, but it won't always be. Are you sure? Is there like a podcast or an article I can go read about that? Because like, I mean, I guess they could swap it out, right? Now that they have these macros written, they could rewrite a macro that says where your persistent container is, I guess, or change out the persistent container somewhere else. Yeah, so or maybe I didn't finish watching a WWDC video. So I guess like you're right, it technically doesn't have to be, but like, but that's like the same case already though. Like CoreData doesn't have to technically be stored. Like you could technically use a third-party source with CoreData and pipe it in. Oh, you were told in a lab that SwiftData will not always be on top of CoreData. That's an interesting... I'm going to screenshot that so I can save that and talk about that later. Copy. Let's drop it into my Notion doc for this stream, because that's an interesting thing. I probably should go back and watch more of those WWDC videos and just see what I can pick up. But at least right now, it is stored on top of CoreData. So like the backings of CoreData is probably helpful to know just a little bit. I am down for it to not be on top of CoreData, but like, I don't know. It makes me really scared whenever like the migration has to happen at some point, or if it has to happen at some point. So like I was saying though, so I was asking like what my previous streams, I was having issues because the preview macro would not compile. It was just hitting wall after wall. I realized after some Googling and just so happened to be looking on Mastodon, and Paul Hudson posted about anything with SwiftData needs to be main actor assume isolated because because the previews don't automatically do that. So by doing, and that makes sense for SwiftData because it all wants to run on the main actor. For the most part, you can have different contexts on background. You can have blah 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 blah. You can have background context, so you can run on like the background on a different actor if you wanted to. But for the most part, like previews, like let's keep it on the main actor. It's going to change what's in the view, right? So once I put in the main actor.assume isolated, it was totally valid. And it worked and it ran. This is still upset. I haven't quite, that's actually what I was trying to figure out right before we started. As to why it can't find this preview item here, static public var preview. It should be able to, but alas. And it should be able to read from the previous sample data, but here we are. I wonder if okay, anyway. So this is something like trying to figure that out. Also tonight we will be trying to figure that out tonight. But if I turn on the canvas here and let's hit Command P. The best thing I did in Xcode was you can go and map new key bindings. I do not work at Twitter. I do not print my code. And so instead of doing print for Command P, I took off the shortcut completely and I made the canvas refresh for Command P. So now if I make a change and I need to refresh my Swift preview here, I can just do Command P and the canvas will update for me. Nifty little trick. I highly recommend customizing your IDEs for all of that. It's great. No, I don't. Believe it or not, I don't even own a printer. If I need to print, I have to go to Kinko's. Or FedEx, I think now. Jeez. But yeah, so that's what happens. All right. So that just adds, so this add item, whenever you hit the plus sign, it's just going to add a new routine item with some defaults. Yeah, so then this is having a preview here for this form. So this is this form here that we were working towards, which I think is almost done. I'm just having to hit the save button, figuring out how to, what to do here with the save button. But first, let's figure out why this isn't working, right? Because that's not working for whatever reason. And the model container looks like it should be right. So we are, and it can find it here, which is the weird part. The container, model container. Oh yeah, 100% everything goes to Dallas. Also, anytime I want to fly, I still have to go through Dallas, and it's a little bit crazy, which it's fine. But every single time I want to go somewhere, I literally have to route through Dallas. Oh, that does seem super wild. I don't understand that. I mean, I do and I don't at the same time. I get why, but it's not the for routine item in memory is true. Nope, still wrong. Okay, that's fine. You'll see me driving. Anyway, printing your code in college like that, I guess that makes sense for college classes. But yeah, that's a lot of trees. That's crazy. My few coding classes I took in college were done on, what is it? GitHub. We actually did GitHub to turn them in for the most part, which was really nice. It got me quite familiar with the process of pulling and stuff. I wonder if this is supposed to be preview. Nope. Main actor isolated for. What is this called? Preview sample data. I just can't find it, and I don't completely understand why. What was their example? I think it was the backyard birds, right? That had some cool little nifty stuff in here that we were looking at last time. Yeah. Yeah, that seems very weird, but you know, college professors want to do what college professors do, I guess. Container, model container for data generation schema. Oh, this is an odd, interesting thing. Making a commitment, attaching a line of code to a pigeon and releasing it, and what, just hoping for the best? Making sure that it just got there. Very fitting, because we're looking at backyard birds. Okay, so we have... See, this is just like a model preview? How does that work? That's a struct. It takes in a content. This is where, like, things get weird, in my opinion, for, like... looking into, like, these, wow. And looking into, like, some of these, like, examples, it just, like, seems complicated. But it's kind of cool. So it takes in a model it does a query on the model, or for whatever model type, and then it returns out the content of models. I mean, it's super neat. Like, this is a cool idea, but that's not... It helps me, but I'm also just trying to be like a very basic like preview at the same time. I really should go watch these videos. Tab view, app screen. Okay, so this just does a... This wrote its own data container. And that's basically what it does here. Container, model container, container equals try. Let's generate data. Oh my goodness. Ooh, what are you moving your WordPress site to? Oh, compile, you redeemed hydrate. I don't have any water. I'm just gonna drink some coffee though, because that seems appropriate right now. So thank you, because that also finished off the coffee cup. Dobby, thank you. So I don't have water, unfortunately. I was not that prepared. But I did drink coffee, and there's somewhat hydration in there. All right, Michaela, what are you moving your WordPress site to? I've been watching, I saw your like post the other day asking what people use, and I'm always curious what people use. Yeah, Starbucks. An hour-long adventure this afternoon after work to get Starbucks that is only 5 minutes away, because the city of Austin decided to close some stuff down. Happens, I guess. All right, so it seems like maybe this isn't the best thing to do. I don't even know where I got this from, like to create this container, but yeah. You use Bluehost for your WordPress? Nice. Yeah, Bluehost is a pretty tried and true. It's been around for a while. I don't use WordPress at all. My main website is on Ghost, which I really like. Ghost has been pretty great. But I'm actually really like tempted. I don't use half the features, honestly. So I've been really I've started down this path before of like changing it to go into publish by John Sundell, so I could do a Swift static site generator, but that's also like another challenge on its own of trying to grok it and understand what's really going on. I've very much about to, or I am very much about to go to, I think actually switching it to Next.js. WordPress engine to WordPress engine, kind of boring. But you want to buy and try out a new theme, and you're moving to your own host as opposed to right now you're actually on your friends. That makes sense. I'm really tempted for Next.js. I prototyped some like stuff from freelance work in it recently, and it was cool and fun and did a bunch of like nice and speedy things. And I can use MDX in it, so Markdown with React thrown in. The only downside is like, there's not really a downside, honestly, besides the fact that I'd have to write like the templates, and I'd have to like and I would in theory want to use like TypeScript and stuff. And with React server components, which are kind of throwing off the whole like JavaScript fun community there, like it's just a little bit different. It works for what I want to do with the server components. Also with Vercel, you could add in a few fun features. So like Next.js is owned by Vercel. Vercel is very similar to Netlify, like Compile uses. Yeah, and it's very much a and it's the same thing though at the end of the day, but they have a, what is it? They have what's called, where'd it go? Storage. So you can do little serverless storage, like key values here. So like in theory, I could do like upvotes and stuff on my posts, which would be kind of fun to do. So yeah, I don't know. That's like an idea. Astro and Netlify. I've heard really good things about Astro. Not Houston Astros. Astro Web. Will that come out? I've heard really good things about Astro, to be honest. Like it's super fast, obviously. Like check that out. It's a static site generator, right? Basically at the end of the day. Am I wrong? Your existing UI components already run in Astro. Story. I love Storyblock also. Oh no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Never mind. I lied. I don't like Storyblock. Not Storybook is what I'm thinking of. Documentation. Basically a static site generator for the most part. Makes sense. Install. Do they have a... That's a template, but do they have a... Oh, add your first page. Oh, you can also do MDX. That's cool. Okay. My site layout. HTML elements. Markdown. It can do server rendering. Oh, that's what makes it so speedy. Okay. So it plays in the same ballpark. I guess that makes sense as to why it was on the same page as like Next.js with the React server components now, but Gatsby, yeah, Astro, Gatsby, what Jekyll also does that server side like stuff to convert over. That's cool. Because then you take out, like, you're basically just sending out like HTML files at the end of the day. Another one I was looking into just for funsies, because why not, is Svelte. This one has also been like going around the hotcakes of web Twitter lately. Come for Swift, get to web development eventually. Astro has Gatsby and React under the hood. Okay, that would also explain why they all play together nicely with like components and stuff. But yeah, I like this type of file, this like app Svelte file. is really similar to like what Vue was, and I super liked that. Yeah, they've been in the news a little bit for ditching TypeScript, 100%. But like they didn't really ditch TypeScript, right? From what I understood, like they ditched it, but not really. They went to like something to like JS docs more so. Where's the GitHub? I think. Or maybe they did ditch it, but like they've ditched it in favor of JS docs. So like if you go into the, where'd it go? Dev? Oh no, oh my goodness. Where's the source files? Did I, Svelte.js. Svelte. This is just the website. Ah, Svelte package. There we go. Source. Yeah, so they switched to like using the JS docs instead of just instead of relying on TypeScript. And honestly, like it's fine. Like it basically does the same thing, right? From my understanding, like, or you get some of the niceties out of at least like VS Code and stuff like that, without the headaches of TypeScript, than just typings or something. Yeah, that's what I was understanding. But yeah. Astro also supports Svelte. How does that? I should look into all that. But yeah. Svelte's one of those like newcomers on the scene, I think. I've been hearing about it here and there. I'm down to look into it, but like I've never been able to like, I haven't been able to myself like really want to dive into it. But yeah, these files look very similar to like what Vue files used to look like back in the day. I haven't tried to do Vue in a really long time. But yeah. That's fun. This is the one reason why you like iOS dev. You have one choice and it will always work. No need for this analysis paralysis of tech stacks. I agree. You have one choice on like language for the most part. But like honestly, this is why you like native iOS dev, I should say. You should probably say, like, because you could in theory like do this whole analysis paralysis with different, like, do you do Flutter? Do you do React Native? Do you do like native Swift? Do you do Swift UI? Do you do UI kit? But you can get down into the nitty gritty, into the same analysis paralysis of tech stacks as you can with web. There's not as many, not at all as many, and because luckily like Apple only really chooses one thing for you. Like you at some point you literally have to like chat, like at a certain point you probably just go to Swift. Like your cross-platform app is only going to go so far. But yeah, this is definitely like a case of like it is very much like a lot more scoped down, but there are still like things that you can get into analysis paralysis over. On the get-go, like very simply, like true native iOS, Swift, Xcode, deploy it on the App Store. 100%. Like that is as simple as it gets for deploying for like app development, and it's great. I love it. That is also one of the reasons. I will agree though, like 100%. It's one of the reasons I really like Swift and native iOS development compared to like the web. Is, as Mono said, has very clear best practices on what you should follow, which the web is just way too much. And like depending on who you listen to that day, there's way too much going on. I've started noticing though that a lot, and maybe this has always been the case in like the iOS world, but we're getting into a lot more of like state management frameworks coming to life and like app architecture frameworks. Like I feel like I read a new Medium article every day about like how to best architect and pass around state in your app. I read a new like blog post about it. Point Free obviously has their TCA stuff. Apple has whatever observable thing that you want to do there, but like testing is a thing that you might want to do, and that makes it hard. So yeah, it's a interesting, like, you still get into, like, I feel like as Apple's opening up Swift a bit more and more people are getting into iOS world, or maybe it's just like my niche, so I don't really know how many people are actually getting into it. Like, I feel like we're starting to see more and more ideas be brought along to it with it, which is going to start getting into more of the analysis on how you actually implement something. Wow. Analysis on how you implement something. So no. It's an interesting time right now. Like I said, I've read like 3 or 4 different, like in the last 2 months, I think there's been like 3 or 4 different like architecture articles that have really piqued my interest, just because of like they're trying to solve the same problem just in a little bit different way, but at the end of the day it all comes back down to like an MVC style controller. I don't know. It's a interesting idea. And then Apple's over here just like pushing the @observable or at now in iOS 17 or in the next Swift. They launched it at dub. And then or back in the day, or like currently for shipping apps, it's like @state and bindable and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an interesting time right now. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. Everything has that, but to make an iOS app as a beginner from zero, there's one decision: can you afford a Mac? That's very true. And honestly, like at this point, it's not even can you afford a Mac? Like, can you just afford an iPad? Honestly, with a keyboard. Like, you have the Swift Playgrounds. Like, yes, it's going to be really limited. It's limited for like us, I would say, because like you can't do CoreData, you can't do easily, I should say. You can probably set up the stack. You can't do subscriptions easily. You can't do some other stuff really easily, like that you need access. Like what are they? You need like the certificates and stuff that you can't do really easily inside like Swift Playgrounds, but like you can get a pretty, but like Apple did make it to where you could get the app from your iPad to App Store Connect very easily. So, and for a true beginner, like I don't think that's an issue. So I really think, or not even true beginner, but for a beginner, I don't even think that's an issue, as long as you will be able to, as long as you can afford an iPad. Like I think you can even just start building apps right now. So like, I mean, I could do it on my iPad mini, and that's like a $600 device right there. Then you could get a Mac mini, but then it's not portable. I don't know. But yeah, so not even can you afford a Mac, but can you afford an iPad if you want to do it? Yeah, and the Swift port is coming to Windows. Yep. I'm excited to see how it goes, like outside of iOS world. Yep, and the native Linux support is also being supported. It's great. Swift is coming around. It's coming up. It's been a good little programming language. Web devs would cry, and native you find is getting quite opinionated in the UI stuff, like navigation and state. Whereas web is like, oh, I don't like that framework because it's too opinionated. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, web, like I feel like web doesn't really like the opinionated and like types. Like I feel like there's still a war on TypeScript as much as I can hear, but it's like that's also like types are important. Like they keep you from causing errors. But yeah. And I have always been drawn on the web to like things that are very opinionated on navigation and state. Like Redux is one that I really like for state management inside React apps as much as possible. Unless it's something super simple, which I can usually solve with closures. But like on a very complex app like Redux, which explains why I like the TCA style stuff, the composable architecture style stuff. Like, yeah. But yes, you're not wrong. Like web would die over here a bit, would cry a bit. What everyone is really talking about is the UI layer that needs a Mac. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's really the data layer, I would imagine. I think more so that needs the Mac. Like, but like maybe I haven't done enough on the iPad, but like, I feel like the UI is the easiest part on the iPad to do, right? Like, it supports SwiftUI like very easily to get it going. I've done very simple like animations that I've wanted to just test out, and I was on the couch. I really think it's like more of the extra frameworks that you want to use that need more of the Mac, which I would argue is more of like a not beginner type thing. All right, well, that was a nice little tangent, y'all. I still really want to like at some point redo my website, but I really think like Next.js is probably going to be the way I go, because I can get the routes correct. But that is I can get the routes right, and I can do the server versus client like component. So if I do need to call out to an API for whatever reason, I can get that to come back really easily. And it's a pretty neat thing. But that's for another day. That's not tonight. Oh, I was also thinking about the website, my website being in Vapor and being server-side render. I mean, being done by their templating system inside Vapor. But then, like, that's a whole server to maintain, and that just seems awful with, like, Leaf. But, like I said, maintaining, like, a server just seems like a whole extra work. But that was also an idea for myself to do at some point. I don't know. Ideas. All right, but back to SwiftData. Now that we talked about web enough, you can just throw it into Heroku, which isn't as much work with Vapor. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Like, there's a lot of like server client stuff like that I could do, but like then I have to maintain the server. Something that I really like about like Netlify and Vercel is I don't have to do it then. And serverless backends are very nice. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like there are ways to do it, and like where if I don't have to physically have the server, like it's great. But like Heroku, I mean, I would still have to like, wow, put it on there. Yeah, and see, and that's like the stuff like, yeah, and like integrating and all that kind of stuff gets weird, and I don't know. It just depends on how much like effort I want to put towards it. Like, also another big plus for Next.js or any JavaScript compiled language like that, I mean front end, is that it works with Tailwind, and I've become like a Tailwind like fanatic now. Like it's very easy to build things with it, so yeah. You realize that making your website was the very reason why you never got around to making content for it. So you went with the simple and little maintenance hosting. See, that's what I've always done. But I also like to tinker and build things. So like I was like, I can tinker on my website again. That could be fun. I was actually working on building a Tailwind at one point. Y'all may or may not remember this. I was working on building like a Tailwind integration into Publish. So that I could like do the live hot reloading stuff and actually use it very similar to like what you see here on the screen. So that it could have so I could just keep adding MD Flex, BG Slate for the background, stuff like that. As I'm building out like the templates and stuff, like just like I would like inside like a React app or inside a HTML page. But then I got distracted and I got bored, as one does. And then I saw this person come out with one. Oh, what's his name? Hold on. Tailwind Publish. I don't think I have search enabled like this to work. Hold on. Someone put it in my Discord at some point. Dev. Where'd it go? Here it goes. Open and streaming. There we go. Pedro Pineda introduced Swifty Tailwind, which is all right. It kind of works pretty good. I wasn't quite happy with what was happening though, because like basically how it looks like it works is it's built off of the CSS path. It's built off of like the CSS file and not the and not like in the tags itself. So like where's the GitHub repo for this? Yeah, so it has the in-out input path for a CSS path and the output path for the CSS path, which is totally valid to do in Tailwind, right? Like you can write like Tailwind has a way to docs. You can specify a CSS path where you start reusing those over and over again. Optimizing for production. Where'd it go? Reusing styles. So under reusing styles, you can do like classes, right? Like you can make classes where they apply the where you can apply it in this way in a CSS file, and you're still getting the like building blocks of the CSS, like you said, compile. And so like this is a very valid way to write Tailwind. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just not the way that I want to write Tailwind. I would like to write Tailwind in this way. Like this is a lot more usable, like reusable, but in my case, like this way is a lot easier to change, basically. So that is how this is written, though, is based off of that CSS file, and that's just not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to just write dot function, like keep doing it like modifiers, like you would on like Swift UI, basically. And but yeah, I was hoping examples. So like if we go into the publish example. So yeah, it has this theme, right? Just like normal for a published site. Main.swift. And it says delicious recipes folder. And it has a publish with theme Tailwind, which is that Tailwind theme we just did. And then it makes you run the Tailwind with the input and the output. And then you go into style. And here's the input file. So you're just applying those like those Tailwind styles in that way. I personally am not the biggest fan of that way, like I said. But it's super awesome that it exists, and it might be like what pushes me to do it again, though, because like I could do that. That could be fun to go back and rewrite it all and at least get my developer diary thing back going, right? But I don't know. I have so many things on the web that are just fun. All right, let's get back into SwiftData. Now, again, fun little like side project. All right, so I don't quite know where I got this idea from to do this preview sample data with the container like this. Honestly, I have no idea. I would think that this should have been fine, but I guess not. We're just gonna make that go away for now. At some point, I'll bring something back like it. But let's bring this back, and what's wrong? Nothing. Nothing's wrong. There we go. All right. So we are rebuilding this little sheet here and this save button. So I have this routine item. It takes in the title. It takes in the notification time. So what needs to happen is we need to save this. It looks like I need to grab the context from the environment. And then here we can do context dot insert the model. Oh, what's the difference between an object and a model? Routine item. What do I do here? What do they do here? Because this is just copied off of like a different thing. Insert. So there's a model, but here's an object. Where is the model context? And there should be a insert function. Okay, so what does this do? Nothing. There is no instructions onto what this is. So that is awesome. All right, so if that's the case, we have nothing here. I mean, it's just not telling me, basically. Because this is insert, but this inserts the model, the persistent model. I just don't know the difference between the object and the model. Okay. Do I need to call a save, or is it fine? Do y'all think that this data is gonna stay like this documentation is gonna stay this way? Like it's gonna stay in not really explaining the differences? Anyway, because I have like a 90% chance that it's gonna stay this way while for a while. All right, so context fetch. I guess insert is all I needed to do for it. Modifying changes, has update expressions, deleting models. Oh, there is a save. But when do I need to call save? I don't think I do. And then we can call dismiss here. You think it will for now? That, like, I understand it's probably going to stay the same, like, right now, right? Like, we're in beta season. They are trying to take feedback in, get things out. I just don't know how I'm supposed to, like, I just don't know how it's supposed to be useful to understand, like, what the differences are right now between things. It depends what docs you're looking at. Some is documentation, just explaining what it is, and other things are tutorials how to use it. I'm specifically talking about like explaining what it is documentation. So like, I mean, obviously there's all these different convenience inits, which, you know, they kind of explain like, I can understand what the init for types, configurations are, stuff like that. But like specifically here, what is it? I don't want to fetch, like insert the model versus the object. Like to me, that doesn't make total sense because you're inserting an object where it's a persistent model anyway, or you insert just the persistent model. Like when do you use which one? Or like, what are the differences between the two at least? Or like, what is it? And I know there's like these essentials, which are like building a document-based app, which has no like how-to. Building a document-based app with SwiftUI, which is a different thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a. I know it's in beta. I know they're working on it, but it's a work in progress still. But like, I don't know. I feel like some of this documentation should be written this. The how is to watch the sessions that's linked, but there aren't sessions linked. Like there are sessions in some cases. Like, I know I need to go watch the sessions, but that, in my opinion, is not a valid, like, how to or why use this over that. Like, that should be put in documentation also. Like, I don't, like, watching videos to get very core information of that, like, is very much against, not against me, but, like, it's very much not a substitute for, like, video. Like, oh, yeah, like the... Hold on, where'd it go? Yeah, no, I understand. Like, this building a document-based app. Like, this one, like, yeah, it's supposed to go in the WWDC video. The sample code is used for that, right? But I'm not talking about this one specifically. I'm talking about, like, the... the, like, functions here. Like, inside these, like, model container stuff. Like, the tutorials, like, yeah, if the video... if the tutorial, like, it structures and it says building a document-based app, like, build an app with SwiftData, like, this is a sample code project. Like, this isn't, like, a tutorial. That totally makes sense. Like, here, this actually tells you it's a tutorial. Like, you, as you scroll down, like, you'll be able to build it. Like, and it's not even really a tutorial. This is the sample code that accompanies something else, I think. Like, I get it. I understand that. It's more of, like, the other documentation. And yeah, that's also true. Videos still won't answer the why doesn't it work in this way, which, to be fair, documentation also doesn't at the same time. It's just a little frustrating. Yeah, 100%. Like, that is the goal of the session videos, and the session videos are super, super helpful. Like, I've been working on custom, like, layout stuff for work lately, like building my own, like, custom Swift UI layout, and the session videos 100% super helpful. I could argue that the documentation could have been a lot more helpful also, though. But the sample projects along with it and the documentation, super helpful. I mean, and the videos, super helpful. Watched the video like 3 times and I was able to get something that worked exactly how I wanted it to work. So maybe the answer is I just go watch videos. But I will say with CoreData, and I know it had been around a long time, I was able to actually, like, understand what I was doing for a bit of it. Like, maybe I was doing some things wrong, but I was able to understand, like, which function to use when, for the most part. But yeah, it is totally like, Donnie Walls, I think, is starting on his book, and so is the guy who runs Big Mountain Studios, SwiftData. Wow. Big Mountain Studios. He's working on his SwiftData book, which I've already put my email in. I'm totally, like, ready for that to come out as well. My issue with his books also, though, are he sticks more so inside, like, the perfect ideal Apple scenario, where it's gonna work as long as you want it to work, as long as you want to work the way that Apple wants it to work. But as soon as you go wrong, Mark, there we go. Yeah. Mark's books are great. I super love his books. I don't remember is it Swift books? Wow, definitely not if I type it wrong. Swift book. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I have most of them, and they are super, super great. Super, super awesome. The CoreData one, super great for researching, but, like, because, and, like, his are very focused on using it in Swift UI and using the tools that Swift UI gives you to use CoreData. So that's always a struggle, a different way. you're right. Do it the way that Apple wants. You're not wrong. Like you should be developing apps the way that Apple wants. 100% correct. But there's also the use case of like testing, or you want to do, because we all must follow Apple. But there's also the use case of testing, which that makes it hard. And then there's also the use case of trying to manipulate the data that you have in CoreData that you then want to put into a view. And you want to do like custom sorting and stuff that just is really hard in CoreData. Whereas if you had the objects like separated out from CoreData, like if you just had the object data, like not doing it inside the view is way easier. Like there's use cases outside of here that like I get lost in of trying to do. But yeah, no, you're totally right. Like if we follow how Apple should follow it once, like it does get way easier. And that's why I'm trying to do that now in my apps a bit more. And it just like at a certain point though, it also gets harder, because like if you want to do something that's just a little bit different on the edge of like what Apple doesn't want you to do, then it breaks at the same time and you have to go and like do something completely different. Anyway, I do have to say though, yeah, Peter, I think I saw you at one point. You said, where is it? The session videos are great for helping to decide if something you need to solve is something you want to use to solve a problem. The session videos are awesome for that. They are amazing at helping you know if it's a tool that you want to reach for at that point in time. Yeah, that was also another thing that I really like utilized that like layout video for, was to see like if I even wanted to use it at that point in time, because if I did, great, like let's do it. I can I can follow along, and if I didn't, then like that's also great, like if it seemed like it was too complicated for me to use. You just don't deviate from what Apple wants. That always solves the issue. You're not wrong. 100% not wrong. All right. What? But this is commented out. Okay. That's fine. Oh, I need to now. All right. So we have this form. It's written. It should save, right? Like we're going to trust that it saves. It doesn't if I don't call the function. You use them a lot for early SwiftUI decisions. That totally makes sense. Yeah, I'm going through a lot of the SwiftUI videos lately. SwiftUI videos. Boom, boom. Yeah, I've been going through a lot of these. This one is super... Where is it? It's demystifying SwiftUI performance. Amazing. It was awesome. It was great. Highly 10 out of 10 recommend. 13 out of 10 recommend. Helped improve performance in a lot of the in my work app. There was also, see, I need to go and watch this one. I still need to watch the observation, but you know, with the observation stuff, I'm like, do I even want to tackle it yet? Because I need to go and like at work, we're not supporting iOS 17 like explicitly, and I don't think it's backwards compatible, like the new observation stuff. Like I don't think @observable is backwards compatible. So for everything else, you have Cocoa type. Nice. Cocoa type is the master sometimes. Let's see. There was another one that I was recently watching as well. Oh, this one about progressive disclosure. It's not even like really like coding wise. It's just talking about how they really how they think about designing APIs inside SwiftUI. And that one was super cool also. I had like this one was also a really good dub video. Where'd it go? I was gonna pull up some like just like how they consider the use cases. They like anyway, it was really good. It's really worth it if you're trying to like figure out how to make a really good like Swift UI View API. Like, it's a really good video. CocoType's a great resource until he tells you not to do something when you need to do that thing, which you're still procrastinating doing. Nice. Yeah, I understand that. That's always how it goes with this stuff, though, right? Like, it's always how it goes. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Like, DubDub has good videos. Do everything the Apple way, and you're fine. That is always how it should go. Oh, see, no, you don't even have to worry about breaking UIKit if you just like stay away from UIKit. Just stay in Swift UI world, and you're totally fine. All right. So that saves and dismisses. This just dismiss. Routine, a daily list here. Let's just do a... What should be the motto of iOS devs, though? Let's be real here. It should be the motto, but then everyone has to go and do these really complicated things on top of iOS dev. All right, so we have this plus sign here. Let's do a dot sheet. Is presented. Oh, that's weird. All right. I mean, I'll do it. Oh, is this the case where I want to use observable? This is what happens when I don't actually watch the DubDub videos. I'm just like, let's see what I can break. I don't think I need to do observable unless I'm doing like a class, right? Yeah. I'm also curious by those people that are like writing the books and doing the videos already over SwiftData and stuff like that. Like, are they actually going to be doing like stuff that's like, with what info are they getting all their info from? I guess is my question. Because like, obviously we just looked at the docs. There's not too much there. I mean, I know there's the videos, but anyway, that's like a question that I'm always curious about. Show new at state object var new routine item equal routine item equals nil, right? You want to put a collection view and a table view row because we have both of them already existing. We just want to show them together on a screen. I have no idea. And then here we can close this, boom, boom, new routine form. And there's like our presentation to tents dot medium. Oh, and there should be a button. This should not be add item. And this will be a label. You haven't gotten to your web dev stuff tonight, and you've spent 30 minutes already just making timestamps to a YouTube video. Oh, that sounds right. Ooh, what are you gonna put out a new video soon? What's it gonna be over? What's the action here? Show sheet dot toggle. Boom. But why does my presentation to tents not work? Presentation to tents, SwiftUI. To be fair, I am also just now working on Swift. I spent like a good, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I spent a good like hour actually just talking. Okay, so it does that. Dot setting, dot medium. Okay, but why? I couldn't get the presentation to tents to work earlier either. Like, why? Oh, your deep dish Swift conference talk. Ah. Okay, but like, that's a really good talk. I know because like I slightly helped you with that one. So, yeah. Anyway, I like that one. That was a good talk. Okay, but like, what am I not doing right? Oh, is it, should I put it on the Z stack? I wonder if it's inside the V stack, the nav stack is causing an issue. I mean, inside the, yeah. Anyway, I do want it on the outside of the Z stack anyway. No, that was silly to think it would cause the issue, but. Okay, so isn't that what it, dot presentation to tents should be a medium and a large. So it should go to medium size first. Yeah, I will. And you gotta put it up there. Once you finish putting it up, like once it's launched, I'll go take a look at it from some time. I mean, it's got Taylor Swift references. Like, it's definitely not like a bad thing. That new keyboard only writes SwiftUI. Fair. Okay, but like, what am I doing wrong? This looks right. Settings view. Dot presentation to tents. Is presentation to tents broken right now? Xcode are those in the Xcode release notes? Asset catalogs, new features. I didn't think they... Okay, but like, does it work in... I'm not crazy about this. Okay, well, maybe I am. Is it because it's in a form? You had 11 questions after your presentation? That's crazy, but also awesome. What were the questions like? I'm just curious. What if we just put these in the list? I bet the list will do the same thing, though. Sure did. Let's put it inside a navigation stack. Aha, there we go. There we go. Let's see if this works now. Oh, that's gross. Hey, what's up here? All your questions were all very opinionated. Didn't realize how much of a hot topic my presentation was. Lol. You gotta ask tabs versus spaces. No, that's always like, you know, like honestly, like tabs versus spaces doesn't matter if you have a formatter correctly. But yes, the answer is spaces. Anyway, so this works. That's awesome because look, we have a custom brush teeth now, so we can actually save that. Let's go cd cd my day. Can add custom routine via form. Git push it up. Cool. Ugh, at work, we're gonna start doing performance reviews soon, and this will be like my first performance review with them. I don't know what to expect. It'll be an interesting time. I mean, everyone says I'm doing all right, so it'll be fine, but yeah. Apparently tabs is more accessible because it's easier for screen readers than spacing. Yeah, actually I've been hearing that more as to like why it's probably better because of the accessibility, because like people can and then also people can change like the spacing as they need to, and it's more consistent in that way. Yeah, I've heard that too. I'm not completely sure I follow the best thing. Yeah. It's not that I'm not completely sure it's the best thing, because like obviously if it's needed for accessibility, it's needed. I am a big advocate of accessibility. I don't know. I guess like again, it doesn't, I mean, I guess it matters, but then does it matter? I don't know. I just need like people to get on the same page on how to use like things, basically. I don't really actually also care about tabs versus spaces, to be honest. Yeah, whatever the code base does already, like that's great. And yeah, I like that's actually the best answer. Oh wait, use yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care either. Like, if your code base really cares, like, one, use whatever the project uses. And then if your code base really cares, like, that's when you set up a linter to, like, fail everything if it doesn't follow it pass, or to, like, automatically fix things for you. All right, so we can now add these. What was my other? So I can do that. Cool. These are done. Come on. Strike it through. Sweet. You'll see once you see the questions in your presentation. I'm excited. I'm ready for him. I am ready, Freddy. All right, ability to mark it done. Oh, I don't have any like data here, so it doesn't make it useful. All right, also that's not what the row is supposed to look like, but so I guess we'll fix that real quick. The underrated topic is line returns in a team that uses Windows, Mac, and Linux. Ooh. That's, yeah, I can understand that because they're all different. Noon tomorrow, y'all. Go check out Michaela's video. in case you need a quick link to her YouTube. There you go. Do Linux and Mac have different line endings, returns? Okay, cool. Let's go look at item row. Oh, I wish this worked. And can we actually do this then? Does this work? Oh, and probably need to uncomment that out. Now it failed to build this again. But why? ¿Por qué? Does not conform to model, persistent model. Okay. That's fine. It should, but that's fine. Oh, I got for let's try this. Routine item. Boom. Oh, whoops. That's not where I wanted that. Comment that out. Get back to list row. Make it a premiere. Do it. Do it, Michaela. That's what you should do. Routine item.self. Is that gonna work? Oh, it's not building. Yeah. Has no member preview. I know, that's why I took out the preview. No one's asking for it to have a oh, this was asking for it to have a preview. I see. All right, what if we do this? Build failed. Routine item does not conform. Why? Why does it not conform to the persistent model? I don't understand. I literally, like, this is actually a very simple, like, use case here. Like, I don't understand. You aren't going to approve the PR because every line was changed. That's crazy. But good for you. That is definitely the right answer. What do you make the thumbnail? The video is like 13. I mean, the talk was like 13 ways to make your code more Swifty, right? Is that right? Well, obviously it should be red or purple. Like, that's just a given. I would vote for red. And do, like, 13. I don't know. You could probably go find, like, the Taylor Swift 13. Images. Yeah, like this. Like this image here, 13 reasons. 13 ways to make your to make your code more Swifty. See, there it is, 13 in red. Anyway, That is my contribution to that thumbnail. But I still don't understand why this isn't conforming to my protocol. Make it space or tab and it will go viral. Whoops, sorry. All right. What have I done? I've broken lots of things, I think. So if I bring this back, let's go back into here. It's probably fine. Models, routine item. 13 tips to write code like a Swiftie. Yeah, still you can use a 13. What am I breaking? What rule am I breaking? I'm sure I am. 13 things Taylor doesn't know about Swift. That's also a good one. Because they're probably all right. Okay, it was literally working like before, wasn't it? So many good ideas, you can't choose. I don't know what the difference was. No, it shouldn't be missing protocols. That's the deal. Because like all I was doing is it's just it's a model, right? So it should have all the protocols it needs by hitting the @model macro. So I don't know. And it wasn't telling me what I was missing from it. But I did a git reset and it came back and it was fine. I wonder if it was something in here, which obviously happened wrong. Let's just do this real quick. Something's going weird with this, which is fine. Like, not fine, but like. Okay, so we know the preview works. Great. I am very happy preview works. It says it cannot find the main actor isolated part here. What if I just got rid of the main actor isolated part? No, because I still don't have this preview, which I'm very baffled by, like why I can't find this preview. Because it's right here. Like, preview is a return item. So then I try to go and conform. For SwiftData, it was necessary for something I was doing. So like if I don't have SwiftData here, hold on, let's comment this out. Well, but it works here. I don't know. I do know. I saw it was necessary. So like canvas, please. Give me an option, enter. Cool. And let's run this. All right, see how that works? Perfectly fine. Main actor assume isolated. Great, because because these have to run on the main actor for how this is adding things. So, but if we erase it, it was throwing me errors the other day. Now it's not going to. I love it. I love when it's not going to cause issues. Never mind. It's probably going to be fine. I thought I understood why it was needed. I guess I don't understand why it was needed. Maybe it was needed in the older Xcode beta, Xcode beta 2 release notes. Let's go find SwiftData. Known issues. Preview instances. Previews. You're right. It could be an Xcode bug. That is very true. That's also true. It might not be. After deleting an item, SwiftUI may attempt to reference the deleted item. I mean, yeah. Explicitly save after a delete. Okay. Do they not have Xcode Beta 1 notes? I guess not. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, so there is like a use case for it at some point. I don't know. It works here now, so I'm gonna get rid of it. But that still doesn't solve the fact that the routine item has no member preview, which I do have here. So like, even if I take it out of being like a computed property, we have this variable routine item. We do have a preview. I go into routine item row. There is still no preview. Which, do I actually need it to have the routine item in there? Probably. Because this is going to turn into a button at some point, so yes, I do. You really need to take a day to make silly pics of yourself in front of your green screen for your thumbnails. Yes, highly recommend. Yeah, the next time you stream, just like, honestly, the next time you stream, just do a few, like, before you hit, or after you, like, end the stream, like, whenever you do, if you have, like, an end scene, like, just do, I guess that doesn't work, but anyway, you could just record some in OBS and then just take it from that or something. Back when I was making YouTube videos more, which I actually started making one today and then I forgot to continue doing it. Yeah, I should probably just do that and stop and actually watch the videos. I was just hoping to be able to figure it out from the sample data and stuff. But I think you're right. I think I'm gonna have to put a pause on this. Because I'm pretty sure I had done some of this, but like, I don't know. Yeah. So that being said, I'm probably gonna end here soon. But like what I used to do for YouTube videos is while I was recording, I would just do a bunch of like silly poses, basically. And then when it was done, and then I would just like snapshot all of them and then I'd have them in a folder so I can use them later. And I don't have to go and retake pictures if I don't want to. But yeah, so that's my suggestion for that. But yeah, I think I'm at a standstill because I think I do have to go and actually watch videos, which I've been avoiding doing. I'm gonna probably punt on this for a bit, but we'll be back on Thursday and probably working on web stuff, to be honest. One video does the exact thing I'm trying to do. All right, I will go watch it. I will watch it, I promise. But I need to actually go and sit and watch it. Yeah, I really just need to sit through a video and it'll be fine. Not pulling the silly face on stream. Hey, you know what? Do it on stream. What does it matter? We're all here to watch your face anyway. At least with part of it. Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for following. Thanks for being super awesome in the chat and for chatting this entire time. We had some really good conversations. If you want to continue the conversations, please feel free to drop by the Discord and introduce yourself or, you know, say hi. I'm trying to be more active there. We're trying to get back into all of this. It distracts from your code. I mean, same, but here we are. I think I only did like 20 minutes of actual coding. It was a great time. I really appreciate all of this. And then y'all have a good night and I will catch y'all on Thursday. Bye, y'all.